and I want to leave a legacy. Like nothing is more important than that. But for me right now, I'm on this trip where I love Jesus. God has this plan for me, and I know that the plan is to pour everything I can into my husband and my kids, and nothing makes me happier. And if someone wants to take me away from my family, those people aren't really for me. No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids,
and everything in between.
For there was love, there was life. Mahatma Gandhi. Husbands, love your wife. Ephesians 5:25.
Welcome to the Pretty and Punk podcast. I'm your host, Dan Caldwell, and I'm here with my wife,
Ildiko Ferenczi.
My beautiful wife, Ildiko Ferenczi, and we have an interesting podcast for you today.
Scary, terrifying.
Well, we ran across this article that suggested that divorce could be contagious.
That's scary.
It is scary.
Well, because the rates are already so high as is.
But contagious like how? Like you catch it like a virus?
Well, there was a study of over 5...
Well, hold on. Before we jump into that, hey guys, we hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Pretty and Punk podcast. And if you are, and you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, it just takes a second. It means so much to us because it really helps the podcast get out there to more listeners like you guys. And if you know anybody it might help and you can send it to them, we really appreciate that too.
We also love and appreciate your reviews. Even the babies look forward to them every day. If you share this episode on social media today, don't forget to tag us. We want to celebrate you because we know it's not easy being a parent in business, and the way that you juggle things makes you a superhero. That's worth a shout out. Together, we have a community of our personal followers as well, and we just want to put it out there. We want to show everybody that this juggle is possible, and you are our family, and we're so proud and grateful to have you a part of this family. So don't forget, all the links are below in the show notes, and thank you again, and let's get back to the show.
Is divorce contagious?
As I was saying, a study of over 5,000 participants found that people are 75% more likely to be divorced if a close friend or family member was also divorced. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
I mean,
Wait. It gets even more tragic, okay? 147%. I mean, what does that even mean?
How do you even have 147%?
No, 147% more likely to be divorced if they have multiple divorced friends in their social circle.
How do you
Wait,
have
and then there's a little more
100%?
sadness,
You already have a 50-50 chance.
Right, unless you're in Laguna, then it's 70%, where our dream home was. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Wait, and then there's a little more sadness of 33% more likely to end their marriage if a friend of a friend is divorced. A friend of a friend.
So even like separated from sex, not even your best friend, just a friend of a friend.
Oh my god.
You know, those are ridiculous stats. Like, why is that even? I mean, I get it. I know why.
Why do you think?
Because if you have people like that in your life, no matter what, not that they're bad people, but you have somebody in your life that's close to you who just got a divorce. For that second, for that first little bit of being divorced, it probably feels like kind of a relief. Like they were going through this thing, and maybe they were going through some hard times, and it sucked, and even the divorce probably sucked. But imagine after they get past that for a second, and they feel like, oh, my ex is watching the kid, and I can go out now, and I got all this free time, and I got nobody yelling at me when I come home late.
I couldn't imagine being away from my
that's attractive
kids.
For a second for somebody. But but the thing is it's fleeting. It's something that happens for a minute.
You're right. I mean, I have seen it.
And then they realize the mistake
online,
that happened.
On social media, where mom gets to get all dressed up and she has her few days alone and she gets to go drinking and go to the bar and get dressed up. And that's not even my thing. I hate drinking. I don't like to go to the bar. I don't like any of that stuff. So that's not attractive to me. But maybe to some people that are kind of dealing with that, maybe they're dealing with the identity of they just became a new mom. They're really missing their old life, their old friends. And this could be just a different, I feel like you and I, we just have a different group of people, different circle of friends, very people that are driven to have great, strong marriages that are faithful to God, to their religion, and they've just sliced the fat off of their lives. But I guess I could see
that's exactly what happened. We've cleared our life. Those type of
100%. But if there's people of influence out there saying, hey, it's actually really awesome because you get 4 days off or 3 days or whatever it is.
Oh, there's a TikTok out there on it for sure.
Oh, yeah, this is like amazing. So I get some time off from being a mom or a dad. I get to work on my business. I get to pick up chicks or whatever.
But you know what, though? I bet you for a minute, like I said, it's fleeting. It happens for a minute. For a second, it's okay. Ugh. And you're excited about it, maybe a life change or whatever it might be. But then the thought of what have I done to my kids? What I failed at this. I failed at this.
The whole reason why we have this thing is so that we could spend more time with our family and our kids. But we know our goals. We've aligned our goals, what we want in life, and we've done the work, and we know what we want. We've changed our businesses to a way where we could see each other every day and spend more time with each other, you and I and the kids.
Yeah, but imagine like this newlywed family who's, started a new business. Maybe the husband's gone and he started a business and he comes home and she's a new mom. She has a little baby. Yeah. She's going through some postpartum and they're, that can be that's a hard time.
And the statistics are that the divorce happens when the kids are young like that.
And you already have a 50-50 chance.
More. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the statistics say you got 50-50 chance you're getting a divorce. So you already start off with a 50-50 chance. It's a crapshoot right now. And but if you have God in your life, if you keep God first place in your marriage, I believe the statistics are 1%. You have a 1% chance of getting a divorce.
Right.
But for those who, and that's why I'm just telling you, like, if I can give one piece of advice, I can't tell you how to run your marriage. I mean, I will tell you. I'll tell you how we run our marriage or how our marriage works and why we think we are onto something here. But I think that if I can tell you one thing,
we've both been in relationships.
You got to keep God first place.
That I think we were different people. I was more stubborn. I wasn't realistic, I think, about marriage and a strong relationship. I think I know, I believed. Stop. You're the stubborn one.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to go down that path,
you're more stubborn than I am.
I get annoyed and I just want to feel like I feel like I have a lot of load on my shoulders, and I just want help and I want to feel like I matter. For you, on the other hand, you're just stubborn and you like to win. And I'll just give you that because I'm
Okay, I'll take
exhausted.
that.
You could win. You
I'll
could
take
win
that.
every time. I don't care. But
Thank you
I
for the
do want you
endorsement.
to
I appreciate that.
take some
I do like to win.
accountability sometimes. But what I'm saying, okay,
No, you're
back
right.
in the
You're right.
past,
You're right.
I was spoiled. I thought marriage was easy. I thought you get married and this is it. I didn't realize how much work went into it. And I think that, in that relationship in the past, I think we just threw in the towel, not knowing what actually went into marriage. I was young. And I think you too, with your
situation. Yeah,
your engagement or whatever. I don't think you realized how much, well, both of you, whatever, whoever's fault it was, marriage isn't easy.
None of it's easy.
Let's just put that out there. I think everybody listening can acknowledge.
If you're married, you can relate for sure.
It's not easy. Yeah. There's a lot of work and love and care and sacrifice that goes into it. But if you put God first and you feel the miracle, for Dan and I, we experienced and we saw miracles firsthand. And I think, how do you not know when you have a child? How do you not know God? Like, how do you not see that God is responsible for that miracle? I think when my baby took my first breath, that I took my first breath as a mother. I became a different person, and that was a miracle. I've never felt that kind of love, and to know that we have to work so hard to never let that little baby down. Now we got more babies, and I'd like to have even more.
Hold on.
If God blesses us.
Hold on.
How could you not? Those kids want more babies. Whatever God has planned for us.
Have you seen those two kids in there?
They're angels.
Oh,
They're my
goodness.
sweetie BBs.
They are great kids.
But what I'm saying is, if you understand, I can't even put it into words, but you have to commit, you have to work, you have to shave off the people that you just see. When you're close to God, you just see things in a different light. I haven't drank for 8 years. I've dedicated my life to the kids and nursing, and I don't miss a drink. Hi, baby girl. Thank you.
I need water.
You need water? Okay, give me a few seconds.
You know what the truth is, if for us, the fat has just come off. It's come away from our life. We keep God first place.
But we pray over each other. We pray over the marriage. Our children pray over us. Dan and I were having a hard time when you were building the business. I mean, you're in a different, you have a huge thing going on right now. Like, huge. You're a part of something so big, like UFC, and you're
it's just everything is going great right now. But a lot of it's still a lot of work.
But you've also been where you were in a bad position, where you had to go in.
Mommy,
and
stop talking.
Why?
Oh, she wants to get.
Okay.
Okay. And,
thank you for that.
this podcast is gone.
Can you hear me? Can you?
I can, darling. I can hear you. Yes.
Water.
I just want to say that when you have people like that in your life and they haven't, see, we've been lucky enough to shave that fat off and we don't have that situation. But can you imagine this newlywed couple who's got a new baby and's got a new business, and they have one of them, maybe the wife's got a divorced friend who's talking about how great it was that she got to go out last night, and you ought to come out with us sometime. It's okay. You don't have to stay out all night. Just come out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then those conversations, oh yeah, my husband used to do that, or these conversations about arguments.
And all that
and
other
you're going
stuff.
through a hard time. So you're,
right.
you're in this place.
Right,
that
but
you're going through a lot, and you need to feel like you vent,
Yeah,
which
but
you should
you
never.
can't
We know
never-
this. We know you never vent to your friends.
never
okay?
vent to friends, family. My mom was a different person because my mom was old school European, and I'd want her on my side. I'd call her and I'd be venting because I was frustrated. But she would call me out. She would hold me accountable. And those are the people that you want in your life. She would say, Ildiko. And then she would say, well,
It's about me.
Put yourself in his shoes. He's probably
About
stressed
me?
out. And yeah, she would be.
About me?
What?
Your mom loves me.
No, she was on your side.
Oh, yeah.
But she would
Of course.
want not your side, but she would.
Of course, she was on my side.
No, but
She loves me.
not always. Though.
Well,
but she
a
would
couple
also
times.
call
And
you
she actually
accountable.
called me. I heard her calling me names in Hungarian. I know what she was saying.
But she doesn't swear. But she was just very
She was
frustrated
absolutely
with stuff.
no. I've heard the words. I know what words she was saying. Yeah, she was totally
But
swearing.
they weren't hardcore swears. They were just innocent
but I knew
frustration.
it was going on. But I get that. Your mom holds you accountable, and those are the
Yes.
type of friends you want in your life too. If you're in a situation where you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or heading down that path, you need somebody in your life that's going to hold you accountable. Somebody who's going to say, "Hey, look, you got to. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Your wife's at home. She's waiting for you. You got to be that person for your friends too. If they're getting out of line, you need to hold them accountable. I promise you, they will appreciate it. In the moment, most guys want to be good guys, and if they get called on their stuff, if somebody calls them out, and your guys are good friends, and you call them out on their stuff, if they're getting a little sideways, like, oh, check this girl out, or whatever they're saying, or whatever they're doing, and you call them on their stuff, they're going to appreciate that. They're going to respect you for that.
I think so, yeah.
And you want those type of friends in your life too.
Yeah.
If you say something or get a little sideways or whatever, you just don't even want friends that are gonna, and not that you should, and you should never do that, but you want friends that are going to lift you up, that are
Right.
not gonna
even
guilt trip you on
cheer-
time,
Right.
like, you haven't called me, and when's the last time we went out, and those type of friends.
Or even the friends
Those
that
are-
try to isolate you, like, let's go hunting or let's go on a guy's trip. I mean, that's not for me when my girlfriends were like,
I'm not 100%.
Can you come
We don't
out?
do that.
Can you
but
come out with
I'm not
me?
100% against it.
I'm just not. I'm not into that anymore. I don't even want to. Dan, you're my best friend. I don't want to go hang out and go to the bar and do all
you're
these
my
things
best
that
friend
just
too,
don't
baby.
interest me.
You're my
like, I'm
best
not
friend
into
too.
that.
I don't want that either. I just want to be with you.
And listen, I can't.
But I'm not against it.
I
If
can't
somebody wants to
speak-
do that, I don't want to tell them that
No,
you're a
if
bad
they're
husband
good, if they're
because you do
good
that.
guys and they call you out and say, "Hey, let's go on this thing where we're gonna better ourselves as men and this and that," but if it's just to go drinking and partying and like, "Hey, let's go hang out and drink and hunt," or I don't know, whatever, like, that's not cool. But if, like, I'm just a very, like, I love to learn, I love to better myself. And I want to leave a legacy. Like, nothing is more important than that. But for me right now, I'm on this trip where I love Jesus. God has this plan for me. And I know that the plan is to pour everything I can into my husband and my kids. And nothing makes me happier. And if someone wants to take me away from my family, those people aren't really for me. And that's the thing. I have this best friend that lives in another country, and we don't see each other every day. We barely, I think I haven't seen her for maybe a couple years. I want to say now a couple years, but she's my best friend. But she does check in with me, and we'll leave each other messages. And she is and always has been my best friend. She'd always hold me accountable, even before I had kids. But I knew that she's tiny and she's elegant and she's gorgeous and she's classy. But she would kick someone's butt for me back in the day.
But
like
you
she's
know
a
what I like
ninja
about her
and
though
she's strong
is
and she
that
can
like and like this how I
She's
am with my
tinier
best
than
friends
me.
too. Is that if we haven't seen each other in 2 years and we finally see each other, that
it's
like
like
we saw
not
each other
even a
yesterday.
moment went by. It's
Right.
it just everything, and it's like a soulmate. Everything picks, and that's a blessing. That's a friend. That's a blessing from God. It's like everything picks up where it left off, and then when they send you the messages, you really feel the love from behind them. There's no guilt like, hey, why haven't you called me? We're both busy moms and we're both pouring into our children and our husbands and our families and trying to do the best for them. But I know we both love God, and I just know that she's a good person. I feel it, and I feel the care, and I feel the love. And sometimes not putting pressure on someone just to hang out or be with you or make them feel bad. Like I just almost want to avoid people like that altogether. I mean, I do. Period. End of story.
Those are the type of friends. If you're going to have friends, those are the type of friends you want in your life. Those are the type of friends that you want around you.
And they send you articles. Well, she sends me articles on the things I'm going through on and vice versa. We just, anyway, whatever.
And the ones that are going to lift you up when you're, because if they're like that when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to relationships and marriages and family, and they are championing you when it comes to that stuff, they're going
and celebrating your wins.
Those are going to be the same ones that celebrate your wins. That's exactly what I was going to say.
People that watch how they act when you get the little wins and the successes in life. Are they cheering you on? Are they cheering your husband on? Are they cheering your wife on? You got to watch for that. And if you don't see that, I was just listening to someone talking about this the other day. And she was saying how that's how she cleans house every year, because every year she has some kind of accomplishment. And if her people aren't cheering her on and celebrating the wins, they're gone.
Yeah, so I just looked this up right now. I was like, I know I heard something about this, and I was just telling you about it, and you said you hadn't heard about it. In a 1997 Gallup poll done by the National Association of Marriage Enhancement showed that the divorce rate among couples who pray together regularly is 1 out of 1,152 couples. That's less than 1%.
That's awesome.
So if you want to talk about putting yourself in a good position, because the national divorce rates of basically 50-50 right now, and of course if you live in Laguna, it's like 70, 30.
Yeah.
So if you want to give yourself the best chance, that's what you do. You pray over your spouse, and you keep God first place in your marriage. Yeah. And that's how you keep that marriage together.
Right.
And and the truth is, and on a good note, and I'll say this on a good note, is that it actually works the other way around too. That if you keep good people around you, have you ever noticed that like when they get married, all your friends get married at the same time,
right?
And when they have babies, everybody's having kids at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like when you have those people in your life, when you keep good people around you, good things will happen around you.
100%.
Stronger marriages will happen around you.
Right, and that's the thing.
When you have a friend
that's around
lifting
people.
you up about your marriage, and saying, if you are going through hard times or something, not that you're, spilling the beans about what's going on in your relationship, but if you have a friend, they know when you're going through something. Yeah. They know when it's a little bit hard.
And that's the thing, is just check in with your friends once in a while. Just like my girlfriend, she checks in with me, but she would never say a negative thing about you or my marriage. And I know that I can trust her but she always checks in, how are you doing? And she has this way of lifting me, because I tend to, I don't like to talk about my problems. I don't ever want to be a Debbie Downer. I'll never talk about it. Like I don't like to do that.
But you've gone through a lot in the last few years.
I've gone through a lot, but I don't like to let people know, because I want to be the person that comes out of it. So I don't ever like to.
But she knew what you were going through. So
she knew, and she could imagine, like anybody. I just, yeah, it makes me emotional because she's got a really beautiful heart. And she just like, it's weird because sometimes God connects to God speaks through people, and you may have this day that you're maybe going through pain or medical stuff, and all of a sudden someone reaches out and says, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I found this article, and they hit you at the right time. That's God speaking through them because they're close to God too. So you want to keep yourself around couples that are, championing their marriage and they're pouring into their kids. Just the people that you want to be like, and you champion them back, vice versa, back and forth.
Absolutely. And guys, when you go into marriage, you have to go in with the idea that you're not leaving. You can't walk into a marriage with 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the bathtub.
You got to work hard.
It's gonna be hard. God loves marriage, and
the devil
hates marriage.
And he'll come at you
he
in
will
every
find a way
way.
to get at you when you're at your lowest. He's gonna find a way to drag you down when you're not ready. He's gonna put people in your life that shouldn't be there, that are gonna drag you down. And that's why I think that, I believe that if you keep God first place in your marriage, and you are in your marriage for good, like you have both feet in your marriage, there's no walking out of this marriage. There's nothing that's going to take you out of this marriage. You've just reserved yourself to the fact that those hard times are something that you're going to get through. You're going to weather that storm, and you're going to get through it, and you're going to be better because of it. And that's because you're constantly trying to get better. You're constantly praying for the power, for the energy, for the knowledge, for whatever it takes to get through those trying times that you're having in your marriage, and you will come out from the other side. We were going through a hard
time, and as I was saying, is that the kids were even praying. You were gone so early in the morning to super late at night. And I don't think we both realized what you were getting into, because you do consulting. And that's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think you were going to have to try to build a company from the floor up and deal with all these problems. I mean, right now you're so blessed. You have this, you're doing what you need to be doing. You're at a different time of your life. You're not starting a business from scratch. The infant tap out days are done. And it was worse than that. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Like I saw you maybe 5 minutes a day in the kids for an entire year. And we would pray over you every single day. And at the end, when I felt like I can't do this anymore, like this isn't what I signed up for.
Well, it became just
then
the
God
weekends,
answered the prayer. I was just going through so much medically. I was in a strange place. Nobody was checking in on me. Gosh, even when my mom passed away, your freaking people that you worked with didn't even send flat. Like it was just a weird situation.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, God opened the door to bigger and better things, where this is the consulting that you were used to. Like you do the calls, and that's what you do.
Everybody's going to go through stuff, but God is going to
close doors that are meant to be closed. If you are close to Him, He will end it, and He will open the right doors.
Absolutely.
Right?
I believe that with everything in my heart.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going through something, just know that there's always peaks and valleys in every relationship, and everybody's going through something hard. I know with this Instagram life, you can scroll through Instagram and see all these marriages that look like they're perfect, and they're just not. Everybody goes through hard times. I mean, everybody's going through situations. We all have our own stuff, including us. And I think that we're always excited to be better people. Yeah. I think I've never been in a place in my life where I was more excited to understand you better, so that I understand myself and understanding relationships.
I mean, how do you understand?
Well, because I understand.
I'm kidding.
I understand what's going on with you, and it helps me understand. Like, geez, Louise, is this me, or is this? Am I crazy, or what's going on here?
Yes!
And then I realize, no. women sometimes just do this. Like they just do this, and you're just got to deal with it. It's like if you have both feet in the bathtub, and you just know, you just like, okay, just buckle up. Because you just have to deal with this.
I just want to be seen, and I want to be loved, and I want to be understood. And sometimes I need some help. Sometimes, I just, I feel
You're
like what if your load is big, I want to help you, or if my load is big, then I just want you to help me, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, it's woman's work.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you were a little bit.
I know. You want me to mop the floors. I was like,
why was that such a big deal?
Because.
But that's your pride or your ego. I don't know. Something
No, it
weird.
wasn't that at all.
But my European family, like they cook together.
Okay. I'm
they
sorry.
clean
I apologized
together.
already.
But I think this is what you need to look at it like. And you've never cooked with me, but I would like to have you cook with me because I really, Daniel's interested in cooking, and I just want him to be able to not have to lean into a woman to cook for him. Like, I don't want him to ever grow up and say, oh, I need to be with just the first girl I could lock down because I don't know how to cook. I want him to be empowered, and I want him to be able to have a nice, clean home. I want to teach him all the things that my brother knew. My brother, when my mom was working late, sometimes we weren't always in the store with her, but he would cook beautiful steak dinners, paprikash, goulash, csirke paprikash, all these Hungarian foods. He knew the recipes, and she taught us how to cook at a very young age, cabbage rolls, everything, because she wanted, like, nutrition was really important to her, and cooking from scratch was really important to her. We had beautiful skin while everybody else had big pimples and stuff in school, but because she made everything from scratch, somehow we bypassed that situation, thank goodness. But anyway, he was nourishing me, and I think that that's the thing is, I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm doing women's work, but let's be proud if we are nourishing our children and helping them to be their best and strong. No, you do. But I just feel like there was some kind of pullback.
It was the moment.
Maybe because you were the
it was the
tap
moment.
out
I was
guy,
no.
Redneck
I was just
or
no. It's like
no.
I mean,
tough guy.
No, we just gotta
manly man.
I just wanted to hire a housekeeper.
I think watching my mom being so proud, like I'm proud. I want to do those things myself, and I want my kids to see. Yes, we have a beautiful home, but I take care of it myself.
I get it. We can do that podcast too. But guys, I just want to let you know that, listen, keep God first place in your marriage.
Yes.
Know that you control your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
These statistics are fine, but at the end of the day,
your mindset.
You control your destiny.
You know what you want in life.
If you want your marriage to work,
anyone sway you.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Couldn't be better
I come from a broken marriage. Something went wrong because my mom, as I said, very honest, she said 27 years, your father was the best family man I've ever come across. And then something happened. He started hanging out with a crowd, and something happened, and it's sad because it was hard for us. And I know that my brother that passed away, if my parents were together, he wouldn't have had to feel like he took on this position to be the father figure, to want to bring in extra money by taking this construction job and passing away tragically by accident, just by accident. And I know things would have been different. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I just have to trust God and just be so grateful that I had him for the years that I had him for. We never fought one time. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I've told you that. I think I tell the kids that too. But anyway,
I feel very blessed that my parents are still married today, and that
that's nice.
I have that because I think it gave me a North Star for my marriage. Like I said, if I ever got married, I was never getting a divorce.
Yeah.
I would fight for this marriage and do whatever it took to make sure that this worked out. And whether we had us, if we, I'm always willing to go to counseling or whatever. If I'm
Yeah, me
wrong,
too.
I want to be better. I want to find. Don't look at me like that.
You hate being wrong.
I know I hate being
You
wrong.
always wanna
Doesn't mean I
win.
don't want to be better. I just want to not be wrong.
I want us
wanna
to be better. I want us to be better. And I want
That's it.
everyone out there to want to be better too. And please, please, please just don't get swayed. Don't just, in your heart what you need to do. And just God will lead you in the right direction.
Keep God first place. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Pretty and Punk Podcast. And we will catch you guys next week.
God bless. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate you for listening to the Pretty and Punk podcast. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button below. And also, hit that thumbs up. It really helps us. God bless. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. I hope that changed your life. God bless. See you next time.